Hi everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Today we are going to make these fun little whimsical houses for either your scrapbook pages or your junk journal pages. And they're just made out of scraps. And these cute little packets of flowers that I have, and I have a bunch of loose ones in here. So I'd love to have you stick around. I think it's just a fun, whimsical little project, and you could be as creative as you want. I have these little, real cute little dogs, and do you think I can find them? I wanted to put a dog out by the door, and for the life of me, I have no idea where I put them. That's where I get so disgusted, because I think that I'm doing such a good job with all my littles and keeping track of them, but I just can't figure out where they are. So we'll have to use the little dogs some other time. I guess I'm going to have to make some more. So I'm really preoccupied with that. So I'm sorry. But we are going to move on, and I'm going to use the flowers. So I want to show you everything that I'm using for these. And it's actually, quite simple if you have the punches and stuff, and you can make these any way you want. I may make even the roofs a little bit different this next time around. But all you need is your scrap papers, okay? Just a nice variety of scrap papers. So, and I guess your scrap papers will be chosen based on what you use. Now, these are all hand torn, all right? The base of the house is a postcard, and these are called postcard blooms, journaling cards for Mrs. Cog's Crafts. And I printed these out on coffee or tea-stained papers. So we'll get at least one done. Hopefully we can make two. Depends on how elaborate you want to go and how detailed. But I have doodling on these. So the house itself are these cute little postcard images, and it's just, like I said, plain paper. The little bits and pieces under the roof line, this one and this one here, these are punches, and the little flower box flowers. These are punches by Martha Stewart, and I have this one here, and I used this one here, okay, for the little scalloped. I also have this little scalloped one here, and we'll probably use this one on one of the other houses. And then if you want some vines on the side of the houses or whatever, if you have, these are all Martha Stewart punches. If you have a vine style punch, that would be great. Or you can use a leaf punch, and you can do leaves up the side. Let your imagination run with these. And then here, down here is where I used the cute little stickers around the door and such. But these are very cute, and I just thought we would have some fun and make these today. So for the windows and the doors, I have tea-stained papers, okay, and it's graph paper, and I just think this works out very well for the doors and windows. If you want to do leaves, by all means, grab some green papers. This here is a nice piece of, this is a little heavier cardstock. This was a 12 by 12 piece. I have this would be a really fun roof, so I picked that. I have this one here, again, that would be a fun roof. But again, it depends on if you want to doodle on the top of the roof or not. This paper here is what I used for the little flowers under the window sill. The purple is where I used the little gingerbread underneath the roof line. This purple here I used over for under this little roof line here. Did that one. And then the roof on this one right here comes from this paper. All right. And then this was a small piece of scrap paper I used. So this is a fun way to use up your scraps. So the first thing we're going to do, and you could do this with any postcard. I just thought these were fun. I found these in my trash pile, I guess, my scrap pile, and I pulled them out. So I just thought it would be fun to use these. Okay. And I'll get both of these. And you can make these also different sizes. You can make short, squatty houses. You could make a house this length. Maybe we'll do a horizontal style house. That would be kind of cute. You could make them smaller. You could make them bigger if you wanted to put in your junk journal one full page. You can do these any way you want. You could cut one in half and make two small houses. Maybe we'll do that. We'll just play and we'll have some fun. The other thing, I use the Distress ink, all right, to ink the edges. And then I found these markers in my basement the other day. I'm going to be taking a watercolor course, and there's going to be some doodling involved. And I found these. These are Winsor Newton Pro markers. These were my son's, and he must have had these for college. And they're all kinds of fun browns, blacks, grays, neutral, flesh tones. So I pulled these out, and that's what I created the borders, okay, around the windows and doors with, along with a couple plain black pens, and I have my white paint marker, okay, and I did the little dots on here with the white paint marker. So we're just going to play and have some fun. So maybe maybe one of these I will do. This would be a little mini one, but if I did a small one, it could go next to this one. But I think the first one we'll do is we'll do another big one, okay? That way we'll get the whole concept. And I like to put the flower at the base. You could do the flower up at the top, but then depending on your roof, you don't want to cover up too much of your... You don't want to cover up too much. And then it might be kind of plain down below here. So just grab your scrap paper and see. This would be a fun roof here. You're going to want to see. And if you want to use more of this, and I think it would be fun to kind of have an overhang on this roof. So I'm thinking, because these do not really have an overhang, and I thought if we did a real funky one with an overhang, that might be kind of fun. So I think this one here, what I'm going to do is, and you can make these like crooked. They're made to be fun and whimsical. So I think this one here, because I would really like... I'm going to start out like this, okay? And maybe we could just have it come to like a real point, like a pointy house. So then you can kind of, if you get a basic shape, then you can play with it and you can rip and tear a little bit more. So what I'm thinking here is I'd like this to come in, up, and around. We'll see if this will work. Okay. And you just have to play. And I think what we will do is we'll bring this down a little bit. And we will, I think that'll be okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up because I'm going to cut. I hear my dog barking. She's outside and she's barking frantically. Let me just go see what's up with her. I'll be right back. All right. There was people out around the pool and Daisy just can't contain herself. So I had to go get her, let her in. She's just a barker girl. All right. So there is our little rooftop. I have that cut down. I'm not going to glue anything down yet because I want to just make sure that we have everything positioned properly. So there's going to be our fun little roof. So for this one, I don't know if I'm going to be adding anything to the bottom. Maybe I'll add some squiggles up here and just do a little bit of doodling. So that way, if you don't have punches to make a little gingerbread style rooftop, you can just leave it like this and do some doodling. All right. Have to have something for everybody, don't we? All right, so this one, I think I'm going to use, this one's a little bit lighter, so I think I'll switch over to the lighter, and I'm going to get my door done, and I think because this is a little funky arch, we're going to make a little funky, I'm going to do a little rounded door, I think. So I'm going to tear a little bit off here. Let's put this over here like that. And we don't need a huge door. So, and I like using the grid paper because you can really kind of see where your lines are and stuff. So that door is going to be like that. And if I could just cut straight, that would be a big help. So we're going to get this inked up. And before I forget, I'm going to ink around my little house as well. I don't know why I have a sweater on today. Isn't that silly? It's such a beautiful day, sunny and warm. I'm going to put the house, I'm going to put the house over on the side. I'm going to put the door over on the side because I really like to see this sunflower. If you put it in the center, then you're kind of defeating the purpose. And if you wanted to, you could actually make the door a little bit smaller, but I don't think it would be in proportion. I'm going to leave it that size, okay? And then I want to have 2 small windows along the top here. So we'll cut a little more. And these windows are going to be, I think I'll make little small ones. And again, remember, it's a wiggly wobbly house. So you don't want everything uniform and 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, perfectly squared up. Okay. So here are our, I'm going to put this over here because this one is kind of bending, going up towards the center. Okay. So there are our windows, and these are just fun. It's just, again, something to do, play with, have fun. These are nice projects if you're watching a movie or a show. You don't have to really think about what you're doing and concentrate. All right, well, I'm going to get this house, or the house, I'm going to get this roof glued on so then I can work with the windows a little bit better. And I'm just going to tack it down. And we're going to raise this up here like that. With that little overhang, I think that's cute. And then for the windows, you want to make, you don't have to, but I like to make the little lines. And I think maybe this one, I'm just going to use the black. I'm not going to do the brown marker around it. I'm going to start with just the black. I'm just going to follow it around. And if you make your squiggly lines, then again, you don't really want everything to be straight. I think that's what gives character to the house. Okay. I watch a sketch video on YouTube, and it's with, I think it's called Toby Urban Sketch, and he teaches you, I'm just wondering if I want to make this a little bit narrower. He teaches you how to loose sketch. I think I'll make this, I'm going to make this a little narrower. We have to round this a little bit more. Yeah, I think this will be better. There, I think that door's a little bit better proportion now. Okay. So with the loose sketching, you literally just loose sketch and make little your little lines. There, isn't that cute? All right, so we have our windows, we have our doors. Now you're going to want to decide if you want to have some ivy going up the side, a little bit of ivy. If you want more petals, you could have ivy coming up and around. Maybe we'll do a little bit of ivy. We'll see. Let's play with that and see what that looks like. Get my top on here. I hope everybody is having a great summer and doing what they want to do and spending some great time with family. I'm just going to make a run here of this, and then I can cut it however I want. I love this Martha Stewart punch. It's so, I use this a lot. I love to make a border like this in my scrapbook pages for any outdoor activities. It's just so pretty. Okay. All right, so here we have our vine. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. So we could take this and we could run it up the side. And you know how those vines, I used to have climbing vines on my house, and oh my goodness, they'd be all over the windows and my stucco, and I had to take them down. They drove me nuts. Plus I was afraid to constantly get up and down on my ladder. Twice in the summer I would have to get up there on my ladder, and it was just getting too dangerous, so I had them all taken off of the house. All right, so I'm going to put the windows on here. I want to get them positioned. Okay, window there. Window here. I'm going to get the door down as well because I'm not putting anything behind the door. And we're going to put the door right about here. So see, we already have some vines growing on here and there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down, and then I will trim off the side. So what I'm going to start, I'll start right here. And we'll get this on here like this. And you could leave this like that if you wanted to. And maybe I will. I want to see what this would look like if I trimmed it off. Oh, I don't think that would be bad. I think I'm going to trim it. We are going to trim this. I think I'm going to use my smaller scissors here and just do a little at a time. And we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks cute like that. So I'm just going to get this glued down here. There. All right, so there, we're going to set this vine aside over here, okay? And then I'm going to get some of the flowers over here. I'm going to add some flowers. I like that. And you just want to play and see what will work best. I like this one here with this kind of coming around. And it's okay if you wrap the door with a flower. We have this one, which I don't like as much. I don't think that's going to work. I think that daisy will probably be the best. I like the white on that. Let's see what else we might have here. Single carnation. No. This one I think will be too. I think that'll be too much. I'm going to go with the daisy. I like that daisy there like that. And maybe let's just try. We do need a color. I wish I had more of a hot pink one right here like that. And I don't really have a yellow. No, I think we need to go, definitely have to go with a color. That's kind of pretty too, because it picks up that sunflower. But maybe, what's this one? Could do that as well. I don't know. I have a really hard time choosing because there's so many pretty ones, but I just have a feeling that this one may work out the best. I'm going to go with that one. All right, so we're going to get this down. There we go. These are pretty easy to peel. So okay, that one there. And this one here. Like this. And we will just cut these off the bottom. There. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Isn't that cute? That is cute. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to doodle a little bit on this one. And I think what I will do is I'm going to outline some of these leaves to make them stand out a little bit more. This one I have to, this I may have to, I don't think I'll be able to lift that up. Where are my, here's my paddle. Because this is down, oh yeah, I can lift this up a little bit. So there we go. Now we'll go over that. So this just adds some more whimsical features to it. There. There. Okay. And then for up here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white. I don't know. Let's see. This is my uni. Let's see what this one. Yeah, we'll use this one. And I think I'm just gonna, what am I gonna do here? Maybe I will just what are we going to do? Let's do something fun. I'm going to first outline the roof in black for this one, okay? Okay, so we have that. And then I think what I'll do, get this darn pen to work. I think I'll just outline some more of these petals. There. And it just adds a little bit more, gives it a little oomph. There. Okay. And then maybe I'll use my other one and we'll make a few, I think I'm going to use my black again. And I think we're just going to make a few little dots at the tips. Up and down. There. Isn't that fun? There, I think that's good. So there is house number 1. And I think the doodles really add a lot to it. All right, so that's done. And let's do one. So here we have 3 verticals, okay? We'll do a horizontal and we'll see how, I haven't done a horizontal yet, so we might as well try and we'll see how that one comes out. Let me just get my, let's just get this plugged up. So, all right. So what do you want to use for the roof? We've used these, preferably maybe something we could doodle on. So that kind of, let's see, we wouldn't be able to doodle on this. And that's kind of harsh anyways for that. We do have, we could doodle on this one. That might be a fun roof to go with the green. That would be kind of fun. And I didn't add a chimney. I'll have to put a little chimney on this one. We'll add a chimney to that after. Gotta have a little chimney. This one, maybe we could to do something different for the roof. I know what we could do for this one. Oh, we could do a blue roof. I think we'll do the blue. All right. I'm not going to have this one overhang a lot. So where is my, okay, so we are going to, first, I'm going to take it off here first. And I'm going to cut across. This paper's a little bit harder to tear because it's very thick. It's a thick scrapbooking paper. And I think we'll come in a little bit more. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to leave that like that. And then I think I'm going to come across. I'm going to make it at an angle. I'm going to make it a fun little funky roof. Okay, and we're going to take care of the roof, I think, first. I at least want to get it outlined so I know what I'm working with for down below. And if you have a sewing machine, also, you could sew this on. And I think we're going to have an upstairs. We're going to have, maybe we'll have a window. Maybe we'll have the windows up on the roof, right? A lot of times they have windows on roofs. Let's just see if that's even a possibility, if that would look right. Yeah, that'll be good. This is a 2-story house, okay? So I'm going to get this glued down straight away, so I know what I'm working with. Well, don't know why that's not coming out. That pin was stuck to my thumb. Okay. And I'm just running a thin because I really want this square right here to be seen. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Okie dokie stokey. All right. So there is the start of our little home. And let's see. So let's get the windows and door on. Is this the light colored one that I was using? I think so. All right. So we are going to rip and tear from here. All right. And we're going to we will have a window here. Come on, you little son of a gun, you. My dad used to say, you little son of a gun. I'd say, pistol. It is a son of a gun, a little pistol. All right. And then this one, I have the vine left. We can have it going across. You know how a vine runs across the house? That might be kind of pretty. All right. Let's get these windows. I think this one I am going to use, again, just the black to outline everything. And we're going to get this outlined here. Okay. And let's do the windows. Okay. There's one window. And there's the second window. All right. Then as far as, you could even make this into a garage. You could make it into a garage with a bigger door, but we won't do that. Maybe this will be a double door. Let's see here. Let's bring that down like that. And let's curve it a little. And this we're going to make into like we'll make this into like a barn door, okay? You know, the old, like a carriage house door. So this could be, so this would be cute in a journal if you had a house on one side and then you had the carriage house door on the other side. That would be fun. You may just have to do that. Set it aside and so a carriage house door, if I'm not mistaken, I think that has lines, some different lines in it. Let's see, yeah. Almost like a barn style door. So let's see if I can do this. Now you have your smaller windows on top. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do our smaller windows. Let's do our smaller windows here. I don't know what's going on with my language recently. Okay. And then this one we can have where it's coming down across here. All right. Then we can have it okay. All right. All right. So that's our barn door, okay? Let's get that on. So we're going to get our barn door on here, okay? We are going to get our windows on up here. There's our other, I guess those are dormer windows, right? All right, and now we can add, I think we're going to add this right to here, okay? I think that'll be nice there. Okay, just like this. Just like that. Okay. There, now we have a nice vine going across there. And let's pick out some, I have some tulips here. Maybe just some tulips would be pretty there. Now we can add a little bit more to the house itself, the barn. And I don't want these big ones, so they're going to go over there. I'd like some of the single ones. And I don't mind at all that they are taller. I like how that one wraps around there. I'm going to have that one kind of like that. And here is, whoops, come on, Barbie. Maybe that one there like that, where it's overlapping that door a little bit. And what about maybe something like that right there? I think that's pretty. It adds color. You have to remember too, these are whimsical, so it doesn't have to be like, oh my goodness, the flowers are larger than normally and they really don't, that's not what they look like. This is just all whimsical and fancy free. Okay, there's that. My goodness. These usually aren't that hard to peel off. But this one, oh, I'll come back to that one. I don't want to come back to it. I want to, because I want to use it. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Let's go. Come on. Gosh. See, they usually come off fairly easy, but this purple one giving me a hard time. This is where I should pause it and say, I'll see you in about a half hour. And I think we can put one more. That would be kind of fun, the bunch. But is that too much? Is that too much, too many, too soon? Too much, too many, too soon. How about some yellow? We could do yellow. But we got the red. No red. Might be that yellow. Might be that yellow. Well, we could do something, and we could do something like that. Don't like that. Can't like that. Can't like it. No, I gotta stick with the tulips. So I think we'll do. What do you think, gals? Think maybe another pink one like this? I don't want to cover up that little blue flower. That is my dilemma. I think I'll just do this here, okay? And then again, I don't think I will. Isn't this awful? But then I'm covering that up. Oh, I could be here all day. How about if we do this? We overlap that a little bit. How How about if we overlap that one a little bit? Let's get these cut off of here. Okay. And I think I'll add those. Although these are too big. These are too big. All right. So we're going to add the flowers. What the hey? What the hey? Okay. All right. I'm sorry that took so long. Crazy, wasn't it? Just cray cray. All right. All right. So here we have our other little house. Do not let me forget the chimney. Please, somebody please yell out if I forget it, which I won't. I'll take some, I'll put that right there. Okay. All right. So for this one here, I would like to take my white pen here. Let's make sure she's working. And I may not be able to take that white. I think I'm going to take this. And I'm going to do the same thing on here that I did with the other. And I think what I'll do while I'm doing this is I'm going to pause this, and then I will be back once this is done. All right, so we're going to finish up. So what I did was this here. I did all of the little doodlings on here, and I took the leftovers, cut them down, and I added, because you know the vines always climb up around windows, then I added the chimneys on both of the houses. And the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a few little scribble dibbles on here, so we know it's a little chimney. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'll add a little bit of black, and then I have this cute little postage stamp that I'm going to add, and then they will be done. So this, I thought it would be cute to add a little stamp here. So I have this one, and I just have to cut it down just a little tiny bit, so it can fit in there, and I don't because I want that little white border to show right there. So I think that will be cute there. I'm just going to angle it here a little bit so it can fit right up in there. Yeah, that'll be cute right there like that. And then these will be done. And I just think they are adorable. And I think I can even put one in my little gardening journal. See what happens when you have stickers and you just kind of throw them to the side. They stick to everything. So we're going to lift this up, because with the glue on this, really, there we go. We're going to get that right down there. Isn't that adorable? They are so cute. So cute. So I have my gardening journal. I grabbed that, and I've got so much I've got to put in here for this year. But I think I'm going to put these two in here because they are just too cute. Oh my. See, this is what I do with my gardening journal. Whenever I have a new project, this was a huge boulder wall project because our old wall collapsed. I take photos, and I put them in here, and then I document everything that has been done. We had a lot of landscaping done last year, so I've put all that in there. The flowers that I purchased from a nursery, and then the plantings. Aren't they pretty? I have to go back there this year, but this is how I use my gardening journal. Look at these foxglove. So yeah, this is how I use my gardening journal. I just put all my flower stuff in here that I purchase. And so let's see. This I might put right here. That looks pretty. And then I can either write whatever I need to there, or let's see, is there another little, maybe I can put it there on a smaller one. Come on, Barbie, it's not that hard to find a spot. It's not that difficult. I think maybe I'll put it here. I think I'll put this here, and then I can put a date or whatever. If I do something, I'll put it over here. Then I can put the date that it's done. So I'm going to put this one here. Someday I will give you a tour of my gardening journal. And then that way it might give you some ideas how you would like to use your journal. I'm a very visual person, so I have to add a lot of photos because I need to remember what has been done on my property. Definitely the year. I keep all my receipts so I can go back and I can see exactly what it cost me. My flowers from year to year. All right, so there's that one there. This one I'd like to put more up front here. Let me see if I have a spot up front. Oh, that's when we opened the pool last year. Oh my gosh, look at how green that water was. Isn't that disgusting? I needed a new pool cover. I have the elephant cover. But unfortunately it was old and everything. The sunlight actually did that to the pool. This year, I got a new cover last year and I opened it up. It was brilliant blue and clear as a bell this year. So I was really happy about that. All right, so let's see if I can find a spot up here. Oh, that would be pretty there against that green. And then I could add maybe some new flowers that I got this year. I like that. I'm going to put that there. And I think what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to add, I don't know if I want to glue on that vellum. So I think I'm going to do, maybe I'll glue. I guess I'll glue. I was going to do tape, but I think you'll see the tape more. And I will just do the outline. Okay. And we're going to put this right there like that. And I'm actually going to fold it over here and press it down on this side because of this little belly band. There. Aren't they adorable? So that is that, my friends. We have these two here that I had pre-made, and then we had this one and the other one that we made today. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I think these are so much fun to make. I hope you try it. It's a great way to use up your scraps, your flowers. There's so many things that you can do with these. Make them your own, make them your style. And I guarantee it's just a very pleasant, fun project to work on. So that's it for today, my friends. I hope you liked it. If you did, I'd love to have you give me a thumbs up, comment, and let me know what you think about it. And I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.